Hello everybody, it's Leslie. In this practice, we're going to explore the possibility of using our own breath cycle as a mechanism of massage for our middle bodies. And to that end, we'll start with a little bit of tapping and movement, and then shift into what the rhythm of our breath has to offer us. So either from a seated position or from standing, take one of your hands, reach over, and start to tap out your ribs. Try to use a cupped hand rather than a slappy hand, and start to tap a little bit higher up your rib cage. And then come even a little bit higher, almost so that you're at your armpit, continuing to tap. And then head back down. Let's switch sides, creating your firm cup hand, and then getting your lower ribs first. Then your middle ribs. My body starts to sound like a drum right around there. And then the kind of top corner of your ribs out here underneath your armpit. And tap back down. Taking a little bit of a forward fold, again, maybe from standing or from seated or kneeling. Take two cup hands and see if you can tap your lower rib cage on the back. If you've got a buddy nearby, you might convince them to come over and do the rest of your back. God bless buddies. And then come on back up, and we'll do a little bit of tapping for the upper rib cage. You could try using your cup hands. I like a soft fist here, but go all along the top of your rib cage. Even your sternum, your breastbone. Another couple of breaths here. And tapering off. Letting all of that go. Come on down now to all fours in table pose. And we'll use a little bit of movement along our spines through the middle body to help, again, create some space for your breath to move. Starting with linear movements. So during any part of your breathing, and just continuing to breathe normally at your own depth and pace, start to lift your tail tip up. And as you do that, you might think of or imagine pulling your pubic bone back through your legs towards your feet. Then allow that inward curve to glide up to your middle back. And to help emphasize that, you might think of your front floating ribs opening up and pulling forward. Bring a little pull from your hands towards your feet. Let your shoulder blades glide towards one another. And think of drawing your chest through your arms. Finally, lifting the top of your head to point up and away. Easy does it. Come on back to where you started, regular table pose, and we'll make a nice slow transition the other way as well. So just keep on breathing, any amount, any pace, keeping it pretty light, and start to tip just your tail down towards the floor. As your tail tips down, you might think of rocking your pubic bone forward, as if it's going to point out between your arms. Then let that rounding action come fully into your low back, tipping your belly in. Gather your abdomen and your floating ribs up and in, bringing the rounding to your middle back. Then push into your hands, pushing the floor away. Let that rounding come to your upper back. Separate your shoulder blades. And lastly, tuck your chin in, dropping your head. And we'll stay for a breath or two here. Soften out of that strong spine rounding and come on up to kneeling briefly. You're welcome to kneel on a blanket here or double up your mat if you haven't already. Leaving your right hand down along your outer right thigh. Firm your bum muscles a little bit to help create a bit of sturdiness around your hips, and lift your left arm up, spinning your palm to look over to the right, and then sliding your right hand down your outer legs. Lean into a side bend over to your right. Keep that firmness around your hips so that the side bend is coming for kind of the middle and top half of your spine. We'll do one more breath here. And then come back up. Take a moment to just let that settle, having done a pretty asymmetrical thing just there. And bring your left hand now to the outside of your left thigh. Spinning your right palm up. Get ready with a firmness for your glutes and perhaps a gentle hug across the front of your pelvis. Leaning over now to your left. Depending on the pace and the depth of your breathing, you might already be starting to notice how the expansion of your inhale and gentle contraction of your exhale influence your experience of a simple shape like a spine bend to the side. When you feel inhale coming again, rise up and then come back down to all fours. From all fours, transfer to your forearms and take your knees a little bit wider. So a short little table. Staying on your left forearm, make a fist in your left hand and push down. And take your right fingertips just behind your right ear. Think of perking your tail up a little bit and then levitate your chest away from the ground. Just a few times, lift your right elbow and turn your chest to look right, and then lower back where you started. Finding an active spinal twist. Last one. And then we'll switch. So bring your right elbow down, make a fist with your right hand, and actively press from your fist along your forearm through your elbow to help boost your chest away from the ground. Bring your left fingertips behind your left ear. Find that little perk up with your tail and start to twist open to the left and then back down. You could make this movement with any part of your breathing. The invitation now, and I guess always, is just to notice what the different parts of your breath bring to the shapes and the movements that you're trying out. Let this next one be the last one. And then crawl yourself back up away from the ground. We're going to settle in to do some focused breathing. And my suggestion to you is that you find a way of sitting that to you feels easeful and comfortable. I'm going to sit on the ground. That is by no means superior. So knowing that we'll be here for a little bit, you might choose to sit in a chair. So be generous with yourself. Allow yourself the comfort that would give you the space to focus on the breathing work that we're going to try. One final note before we dig in is that interacting with our breath can have other effects beyond just giving a stretch to the muscles and the tissues involved in breathing. So you can always take a pause. You can shorten or lengthen the cycles that I'm guiding according to your own needs and how you feel. Anytime, just returning to normal breathing if you feel like you need to take a break, okay? So first we're going to emphasize the in-breath and retaining the in-breath. So that'll mean blowing up like a blowfish at the belly, at the ribs, and at the chest. Let's just try that out. So taking your own time, try filling your belly, then your ribs, even your chest. And then let it all whoosh out. Do you want to change your body position to help emphasize that possibility? Sometimes I like leaning forward. Let's do another one. Breathing into your belly, then your chest. Oh, my bad. Then your ribs, then your chest. And let it all whoosh out. One more time like that. I'm going to keep talking. You try it out. Filling up as much of your middle body as you can into all the corners, all the nooks and crannies, in all directions, from the bottom to the top. Seeing what there is, letting it all out. Having let it out, allow yourself to just breathe at your normal depth and rhythm. We're going to go for another breath cycle that emphasizes the breath in and then hold it. And not hold it by kind of clamping down with your mouth or pinching your nose, just opening the space and then keeping the space open with your muscles. The length of time that you hold open is up to you. You might stop sooner than me, or you might hold longer than me. So we'll just see how it goes. So start to bring your breath in, filling up your belly, then your ribs, then your chest. Try to fit in a little bit more air. Pack in a little bit more, open up a little bit wider, and then hold that space open. As you hold it, sensations may transform. When you're ready, let it all out. Let your breathing return to normal. Turns out you can fit a lot of air in there, and now we're going to emphasize the opposite. So that'll mean kind of compressing, using the muscles to contract and kind of squeeze all of your air out of your body. So we'll practice it 3 times, then we'll do it and hold it to have the opposite experience. So see if you can start to squeeze air out of your chest, dropping your chest, and then hugging your ribs in, and then your belly in. All the air out. Let it come back in. Breathing normally. Take a regular inhale. And then breathe out from your chest, from your ribs, then from your belly. Squeeze it all out. Let it come in on its own. Breathe normally a couple of times. If you think you might want to change your position to help facilitate this last practice one, you might. As always, I like to put my hands down. It helps me feel like I have a bit more brain space and energy for focusing on breath. So take a regular inhale, nothing special. And then start to close down. Chest, ribs, belly. Squeeze it all out. Let it come on in. Returning to regular breathing. Now this next one, we're gonna go for the breathing it all out, all out, all out, squeeze it out, and then hold. So again, your timing might be a bit different than mine. That's totally cool. You can make your own decisions according to your needs. So, as always, take a regular breath in, and then start to breathe out. Kind of closing down, tightening up, contracting slowly, softly at the chest, at the ribs, at the belly. Keep going out, breathing out every last drop of air. No more air. Squeezing out. And hold. No air coming in. Only squeezing out. One more moment to hold. And then let the breath come in. Return to regular old breathing. Having kind of stretched capacity for breath in one direction and in the other direction, now we're going to experiment with pairing both together. So big, full, expansive inhales that take longer and are a bit more effortful than natural breathing. And then big, long, kind of contractive or compressive exhales that take longer and require a bit more effort. So depending on how one cycle goes, you might just breathe normally afterwards, or you might do a second cycle. Your timing is your own. We'll see if ours match up. So get yourself ready. And we'll start with a long inhale. So start to fill your belly and your ribs and your chest. Get a little bit more air in there, a little bit more. And then slowly squeeze the air out. Letting your chest drop. Watching your ribs soften in, and then squeezing the depth of your lungs to expel every last little bit of air. You might take a break now, or you might go for a second round, drawing air in slowly to your belly, then across your ribs, then up into your chest, fitting in a bit more air, holding for a moment, and then slowly coming back out bit by bit, pacing that exhale, letting your chest soften, your ribs soften, your belly hug in, holding out for a moment. Let's definitely all take a break now. Having tried out that pattern of pairing the long, full inhale with a long, full exhale, we can now bring that into the basic postural possibilities for middle body and spine, like twist, side bend, and back bend, forward fold. So we're gonna make those shapes, and you might change from sitting on the ground to sitting in a chair or vice versa if you'd like to switch things up. But we'll go for a twist first. So walking your hands gently to your right, letting your hands rest on your thigh, take a moderate twist, mostly with your torso. You could also move your neck. Just checking it out for a couple of regular breaths. When your next inhale, or when the right inhale is ready, let it be slower, fuller, and stronger, bringing air to all levels. So bringing it down to your belly and across your ribs, up into your chest. Hold all that air in. And then slowly let it come out, chest, ribs, belly, And inhale yourself back to center. Take another breath or two here. And then head to second side. So walk your hands over to the left. Maybe they stay on your lap. Your left hand might come down to a part of the chair or to the ground. Let your twist be moderate, nothing serious. Our kind of excitement is the breath today. So when you think the right inhale is starting, let it be a stronger, fuller, bigger inhale, drawing air down to your belly, out to your ribs, up to your chest. Fill up, fill up. Hold that air. And then soften out from your chest, from your ribs, from your belly. Next inhale, swing back to center. Let things settle again. Now for side bend. Place your right hand down to the seat of the chair or to the ground, off to your right hand side. Turn your left palm up and then find, you guessed it, a moderate side bend. Kind of getting the support from your bottom side arm, sending your ribs over to the left. So there might be a little more action along the left side of your body here. So start with an inhale to fill your left belly, left ribs, even your upper left chest. Hold that space open and broad. And then soften out chest, ribs, belly. And come back up with your next inhale. Let yourself kind of equalize or settle back in center. And take your left hand down to the seat of your chair edge or the ground. Turn your right palm up and find that moderate, easygoing side bend. Kind of keeping your right sit bone heavy and using your left hand to help push your ribs over to the right. Honing in on that moderate side bend. And then when you feel your inhale is ready, we'll make it that big one. Slowly filling up your right side belly, your right ribs, your right side upper chest. Hold that space open, full of air. And then bit by bit, let your exhale come on out, chest, ribs, belly, and inhale, come on back up. Let that input have a few moments to echo or simmer. Lastly, we're going to move into our linear spine movements. So come on down to the ground. We're going to finish out with child's pose, but start in table pose. So you might use your blanket if you wish. Bit by bit, come slowly into something like cow pose with a generous back bend. And with your spine in this position, your breath might have a bit more space to expand into the front of your body. So start to gather in one of those strong inhales, filling up across your low belly and waist, then your ribs, even your chest. Hold that space. And then slowly exhale. And as you exhale, ease back into child's pose. Curl your tail down. Keep on breathing as you need to. Curl your tail down, trying to round your back. You might choose to keep your arms long here or stack your fists to support your forehead. Either one is good. With your spine rounded, a little exaggeration of what child's pose offers. Start to gather in your big inhale when you're ready, filling up your belly against the pressure of your legs, widening your ribs out, filling up your chest, holding that space wide open, full. And then slowly exhale. Let yourself sink a little bit. Let yourself get a little heavier. And let your breathing return to its own pace. You might choose to rest a little while longer here or slither down to the floor for a more neutral body position. When you're all done, just come on up nice and slow, taking your time. Kind of letting your breath and all of the muscles that are involved in your breath perhaps move a little bit more fluidly and freely after those massages from the inside out. Thanks, everybody.